Hey y'all, Nico here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm Nico. Today I wanted to talk to you about my experience being a Black yoga instructor. I thought it was important to talk about it because it's Black History Month, number one, and number two, my name on here is Black Yogi Nicomarie. There's a reason why Black Yogi is in front of Nicomarie. So I'm just going to kind of take you through my journey as a Black yoga instructor and kind of narrate my experiences. So when I first started my yoga teacher training, I was the only Black woman out of 5 women. Everyone else was a white woman, which was kind of to be expected, I guess. I didn't see very many Black faces there. There may be a couple Black students and one other Black yoga instructor. So when I started my teacher training, I didn't expect to see a lot of Black people there. So I did yoga teacher training through the studio that I practice with. When I got done with yoga teacher training, I started teaching at that studio. So my whole mission from the beginning with doing yoga teacher training was to bring awareness of yoga and wellness to Black people. And I wasn't feeling like I was able to do that there because it was a predominantly white space. I was teaching mostly white women. Out of all my classes, I feel like I taught very few Black people. So after a while, I started to not enjoy the experience as much. That, in addition to not always seeing eye to eye with the owner of the studio, it just was a lot. It started to feel like a chore more than something I wanted to do, more than something fulfilling. It wasn't fulfilling for me. So after I stopped working at that studio, I just decided to start my own yoga class. And I reached out to a venue owner I knew who was a Black person. And he suggested this Black art gallery that sometimes holds events and poetry events and stuff, that I should start doing my own class there. So I started doing my own class there. I really liked it. Eventually it gained traction, and now I have like a room full of Black people. And I charge very little. I charge $5 because my mission was for it to be accessible. And even as things evolved, I tried $5, I tried $10, and as of late, before COVID, I was just doing donation based, which seemed to work best because it means that there's accessibility. You know, I didn't want somebody to feel like they couldn't come if they didn't have $10 that day, if they didn't have $5 that day. It was meant to be a community space, a Black community space, or whoever felt comfortable with being around us, because it's mostly Black people in the class. I've done a little research, and 1 in 15 people practice yoga. 4 out of 5 of those people are white people. There's this stigma that Black people don't do yoga, and if you've seen a couple of my other videos, I've kind of talked about this before. There's a stigma that Black people don't do yoga, so there's less spaces for us. There's less accessibility. Whenever you see something about yoga, and most of the time whenever you see something about yoga being promoted or marketed, you don't see Black faces. So Black people, sometimes we feel like yoga isn't for us because it hasn't been presented to us. We don't know what it is. We don't have a value in it. We don't have a value in yoga. We don't have a value in wellness. Also, there's many Black people who are religious and who have, a faith in something, and they think that doing yoga goes against that religion, when in reality, yoga does not identify with a specific religion. You can be whatever religion you want to be in yoga. You can even use yoga to help you get closer to your religion or your spirituality if you choose, or you don't have to incorporate it at all. It's not yoga. You don't worship a certain deity in yoga. So that being said, my mission was to create space for Black people and to make it accessible, because sometimes class has something to do with yoga. Like, yoga was mostly marketed to people with money. When you think about, even when you think about like leggings, like how much they can cost sometimes if you want to get a pair of yoga pants or something. So my mission has been to say, yes, yoga is for us. It's for everybody. We are included in that. Even when I see things online, or when I watch some of these yoga seminars online, there's a lot of online things that have come from COVID. Like, some of them say, oh, don't teach for free. Don't teach online for free. Don't stream free classes. And it's like, why not? If we want to make yoga accessible, if the mission is to spread the awareness of yoga and make yoga accessible, why wouldn't we do that? Because it's like saying, oh, because you don't have money to pay for this $15 or $20 class, then this isn't for you. Like, no, like there should be, that everyone should be able to access it, whether it be on YouTube, whether you do want to go to that $10, $15, $20 and up class, you should be able to do that. There are people who live in places where they will never see a yoga studio. So who am I to tell those people that they don't deserve to practice yoga, that they don't deserve to have some wellness, that they don't deserve to meditate or be taught properly by someone or have someone to be their guide? I just think that kind of defeats the purpose of yoga, because, you know, yoga means union. So I just believe that everyone should at least have a chance to try yoga if they want to, especially people who are already at a disadvantage because of the color of their skin, people who are already looked over. And I feel like Black people tend to be looked over when it comes to yoga, like we don't deserve to have that peace of mind in our lives when we really need that. We really need mindfulness. We really need more mental health practices, wellness practices. We need to focus more on our health, because there's a lot of things working against us, from, you know, doctors and hospitals, to not having access to mental health things, not having access to fresh foods. A lot of us have not been taught these health and wellness practices. So I think it is the job of the community, the people who become educated on these things, to spread the awareness amongst our people. If, you know, people don't know where to get the information from, or people don't know where to start. So in being a Black yoga instructor, you know, there have just been struggles when it comes to wanting to see and connect with people who look like me. To this day, I don't think I've been to a yoga studio aside from the one that I used to teach at, because I know what I'm gonna be looking at when I go to a class. I know I'm not gonna feel comfortable, because there are people who don't look like me. People are gonna be looking at me like, what are you doing here? Which makes me super anxious. So I just don't want to be in that space. So I've taken it upon myself. I took it upon myself to create that space before COVID happened. And afterwards, I just take it upon myself to create my own practice at home. I think there's also a certain amount of competitiveness in yoga, as there is with any field. Like, people feel like there is not enough people for everyone. There is room for everyone. We should all make room for one another when it comes to reaching the masses of people. No one person can reach everybody. Even, you know, a small group of people can't reach everyone. We can all thrive within this, especially if we encourage each other and, again, make room for one another. We can all thrive within the yoga community, making room for one another, encouraging each other. Everyone has their audience. Everyone has those people that come to them, that feel comfortable with them in their practice. And I think that's important, to have people you feel like you can trust in your practice, and people who you like the way they instruct. So it's just a matter of finding the people who support you, and it's okay to share those people with other people as well. There's a lot of people on earth. There's a lot of people in whatever city the yoga studio or the yoga instructor is in. There's a lot of people on YouTube. You know, there's a lot of studios. There's a lot of teachers. We can all thrive. So the reason I put Black yogi in front of Nicomarie is because you don't see a lot of Black yoga instructors on YouTube. You really have to dig deep and search and find them. Hope that they come across your feed. I wanted it to be clear that being a Black yogi is a part of who I am and a part of my mission. A Black yogi who is wanting to encourage other Black yogis. I wanted people to be able to log on and type in the search bar that they want a Black yoga instructor, and to be able to find me. So this is always going to be one of my first priorities in teaching yoga, is reaching my community and feeling like I'm giving back, because I'm so fulfilled. I was so fulfilled in teaching my class. I'm so fulfilled when people say they reached a milestone in their life, or they started meditating, or they started doing yoga and they feel good about it. It means a lot to me, and it really impacts me and makes me feel like I'm making a difference in what I do. So in conclusion, being a Black person in a white field, in a white space, is always hard. Sometimes you feel like you don't belong. Sometimes people are like, looking at you like, what are you doing here? Sometimes people are feeling like they need to tell you how to do it. So that's why it's important to me to create a space that is welcoming to Black people, to where they feel like they belong. A lot of the things I do in life when it comes to being creative and having my creative endeavors and my yoga endeavors is about creating space for Black people to be ourselves, to feel comfortable, to have fellowship, and to just have community, have a communion with each other. So anyone and everyone is welcome to watch me and practice with me, but I just want to be clear and be sure that people know that that has been my mission from the beginning, and that is going to continue to be my mission. And if you support me in that mission, I thank you for doing that. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.